What if every dollar you give isn't leaving you, but it's expanding you? What if giving wasn't about sacrifice, but it was about alignment? What if generosity was never meant to deplete you, but to circulate healing, wealth, and expansion? In this episode of the Generational Rhodium, we're redefining giving in a new age of sacred technology, divine reciprocity, and a tool of energetic elevation. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how giving from intention, not fear, becomes one of the most powerful ways to multiply peace, purpose, and prosperity. Great awakening, magnificent people. I am Jazmian D. Thank you so much for joining the Generational Rhodium. It is the media and healing branch of HWPLP. HWPLP stands for Health, Wealth, Prosperity, Love, Peace. We are a movement-driven investment firm committed to building generational wealth through healing, collective economics, real estate, and venture capital. We empower individuals to heal financially, build wealth strategically, and cultivate thriving, prosperous communities rooted in peace and love. Please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And visit our website at HWPLP to sign up for our mailing list and also to learn more about the movement. This episode is in alignment with the monthly newsletter entitled Wealth is Sacred, Money as a Tool for Collective Ascension. Now let's get into this. Let's begin by expanding on the law of circulation. The universal law that teaches all energy must flow, money, love, ideas, even breath. Everything in creation is designed to move, to give and to receive, to inhale and exhale, to send and return. When energy stops flowing, it's stagnant. And stagnation in any form, whether emotional, financial, spiritual, it creates disease, lack, and imbalance. That's why giving is sacred. It keeps the currency flowing. The law of circulation says, whatever you send out into the universe, in the spirit of love, gratitude, generosity, it returns to you multiplied. This is not a metaphor. It is energetic physics. When you give, you activate flow. When you hoard, you interrupt it. When you give with trust, you tell the universe, I believe in infinite supply. I believe I am abundant. And you immerse yourself in this response. You immerse yourself in this energy by providing the right of knowing that this is true. But when you give with fear, I hope this is enough. I might not have more for later. You send a vibration of limitation, and the current slows down. It's not about how you give. It's about how much love is in the giving. Traditional tithing has often been reduced to obligation, a number, a percentage, a rule. But metaphysical tithing is a frequency, a practice. It's about maintaining balance, the flow of energy. You give not to pay a debt, but to circulate love and light. And here's the energetic truth. Giving without receiving is incomplete, and receiving without giving is imbalanced. The law of circulation demands both. It's a full energetic circle, outward and inward, the constant rhythm of divine exchange. When we honor this law, we become conduits of continuous expansion. That is true tithing. Not 10%, 100% of alignment with divine flow. Let's talk about what actually happens energetically when we give. Every act of giving creates a vibration. The energy behind this gift matters more than the gift. If you give from depletion, you send a frequency of fear, of lack. If you give from love, you send a frequency of expansion and growth. There are three main forms of metaphysical giving. First, the energetic tithing, and that is giving back to those who pour into your spirits. Return back to them what they are giving you. And those can be your teachers, your mentors, your healers, your guides, sacred spaces you go to, your elders, your ancestors. These are things that feed your evolution. And you give back to them so that they can also feel the love you experience from what you receive from them. You're not paying for enlightenment. You're honoring them. The exchange, light for light. Number 2 is compassionate circulation. That is giving where your heart feels residence and not obligation. You're not donating. You're co-creating. Number 3, self-giving. Investing in your own growth, healing, and transformation because you are important. Don't pour into everyone else and forget the importance of you rising and forget the importance of you ascending. Put that same love into yourself and allow yourself to elevate. Giving is not charity. It is a sacred reciprocity. When you give in alignment, you are not funding others. You are feeling the flow in the universe. I want to share something that's quite personal. And I would say it is a little bit too transparent, but that's okay because that's what healing is. You have to be vulnerable. And that is what I am now. And I always am. So my whole entire life, I was raised metaphysically. So I always knew that money flowed to me abundantly. I can remember at very young ages knowing this, spending freely because I knew it would come back to me because I was circulating it, circulating the currency. And as a result, I've always had a constant flow of income, regardless of what I was doing. I always had a constant flow. I always had opportunities. I always had something coming to me to benefit me. So I felt in me there was something missing. Because in growing up, I always understood very strongly the importance of giving. And I gave with my whole heart. I still do. I gave unconditionally, regardless if the people appreciated it or not. I gave freely and abundantly. It was my sacred second nature, but it also was a weakness. A weakness, not because it was bad that I was giving, but a weakness because I rarely allowed for the full law of circulation to be in effect. I would give endlessly, but I often, and still sometimes now, struggle to receive from others. I am a work in progress. So when others look to give to me in the past more so, I would always state to myself, oh, I'm okay. I don't need any help. Thank you though. But how can I help you? And this has been continual my whole life. However, in knowing now that I am missing a key component of receiving, I have let go and allowed myself to receive just as much as I give. Not because I didn't value others' kindness in the past, but because I always had these unhealed patterns that made me think it was weak to receive from others. I felt guilty because I thought I'm able to do it on my own. I have to do it on my own. I've done everything else on my own. But it is okay to be poured into as well. So that resistance that I had, it was rooted in these wounds that I hadn't healed, that I am healing. And as a result, I have opened my heart to fullness of circulation. I have allowed others to pour into me. And when I have done this, the amount of abundance that has flowed to me with their friends has multiplied infinitely. Pure abundance has showed up in my life. Because that's the essence of giving, the receiving part too. It's two sacred halves of a whole. And they both need to show up. Now let's do a breathing exercise. This is a box breathing exercise, a 6-6-6-6. Typically, boxes are 4s, but 6 is because we want to really feel this breath, really grow into this mindful breathing. And so that's why it's a little bit more extended. During this one, I would like you to keep your eyes closed. I'm going to say affirmations, and then at the end, keep your eyes closed a little bit longer to do a very brief visualization. So let's get started. Inhale. I receive in trust. Hold. I give in gratitude. Inhale. I release resistance. Hold. I circulate, flow. Inhale. I receive trust. Hold. I give gratitude. Exhale. I release resistance. Hold. I circulate divine flow. Last time. Inhale. I receive in trust. Hold. I give in gratitude. Exhale. I release resentment and resistance. Hold. I circulate divine flow. Now keep your eyes closed. Visualize that your hands are glowing a golden light. See that light flowing outward, blessing other people, projects, purposes. Feel how it feels to use that light, to use that currency, to circulate in communities that you love, that you embrace, that you feel welcome at home. Now see that same golden currency returning to you, multiplied. You are not draining, you're circulating. You are the channel, not the container. I am a vessel of divine flow. My giving multiplies blessings for all. I receive with grace and gratitude. Thank you. Scarcity giving says, I give or I lose favor. Soulful circulation says, I give because I am full. The universe responds to energy, not obligation. When you give with alignment, you amplify divine order. When you give from exhaustion, you echo fear. Here are 3 ways to give with flow. First one, give with clarity. Know why you're giving. See an intention. Set that intention. State to yourself, may this energy return to me multiplied in peace and purpose. 2, give with joy. Let giving feel expansive, infused with love, music, laughter, gratitude. Give from your heart. And that in itself is pure joy. 3, give with trust. Know that circulation is always in motion, and it always completes itself, and it always comes back to you in love, and it is never lost. Tied to those who spiritually pour into you. Support local projects. Create a circulation fund, a sacred account dedicated to solely to giving and joy. When you give from a place of joy, it becomes magnetic. Now, here are some tangible tools you can utilize to shift your paradigm. Number 1, intentional ledger. Write down where your time and energy and money goes every month. And note the feeling for each exchange. And do more of those things that feel amazing. 2 is weekly blessing rituals. Each week, choose one person or a cause to support. Speak the name. Send energy. Send love. Send abundance. Do it in secret, but do it. And as I bless them, I bless myself. Should resonate in your mind. But I do want to emphasize, you don't do this to just receive. You do it from your heart. Number 3 is gratitude expansion. When you give, say aloud, I circulate abundance through divine love, and it returns to me multiplied. Say it, feel it, embody it, be it, and it will manifest. Number 4, do a collective flow practice, working with friends, family, like-minded individuals. Pull resources together and decide how to circulate that energy. There are many different ways, and everybody has different calls. So make those decisions that resonate with your heart. Giving is not depletion. It is divine circulation. When we give with love, we become co-creators of abundance itself. Each act of generosity, the universe whispers to you, I trust in infinite supply. And you feel that, you embody it, you know it because you trust it, hear it, feel it. Because wealth expands when it moves from transformation to transformative. Now let's close with the HWPLP affirmation. Heal your mind, body, and soul. Build the wealth that is your birthright. Live a life of full prosperity, love unconditionally, and live in a state of peace. And so it is, and so I am, and so it be. I want to thank you so much for joining me with the Generational Rhodium. I am Jazmian D with HWPLP, and I really look forward to seeing you next time. So until then, peace, love, and light. Thank you.